Hey there, it's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed, and it's Wednesday, October 13th, 9 o'clock. Look at that. I got everything right in one go. No more guessing. I'm finally looking at the date and time so that I'm on it, trying to get a handle on this technology after all this time. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. I have got to I guess, convert and share these on my audio streams. I haven't done that in a couple weeks, so I need to do that. I've gotten a couple messages asking when were there going to be some new episodes. So I got to make sure I do that after tonight's show. I always forget that there are people in audio land that listen too. So I have to remember to do that. So let's get started. It's Wednesday, October 13th. This year has gone by so fast, much faster than last year. I remember gearing up, getting ready for the presidential election this time last year, and being all stressed out about the pandemic and what's going to happen. And now we're a year in, and we're finally moving on. We're trying to get on the other side of it. We're still working on people getting vaccines and stuff. But either way, it's already mid-October, and this year is going by. I can see already plans into next year. So I know for me, it is zooming. So let's get started. 3 Cheers of Joy. As you know, about 3 weeks ago, we found out we had a corporate sponsor for 3 Cheers of Joy, and it's called Queen's Ransom. And the wonderful thing about that is that today I got a gift from Queen's Ransom. So they're sponsoring 3 Cheers of Joy. So I'm gonna open it live to see what it is. I've had it all day. Well, actually, one box came yesterday, and it was these cocktails. So one box came yesterday with 3 cocktails. Forbidden Fruit hard tea, that's the Tamacion. I tried that. I had that the first week. And then Charday's Rosé. Those are the 3 cocktails that I received on yesterday, and I didn't open them until today. That's my patience. And then I got another box today from FedEx, and this was in it. So I figured I would wait until I was live to open Queen's Ransom, see what kind of goodies we got. And so I guess my first cheer of joy is cheers to a corporate sponsor, somebody who believes in Joy Exposed, my lipstick, somebody who believes in Joy Exposed. Somebody's going to give us an opportunity to help them with their brand and to sell some liquor. You know, it's my favorite thing to have some cocktails. You can order Queen's Ransom at queensransomllc.com and use Queen Joy as your discount code. So let's go. I'm going to open the box. Love presents. Ooh, presentation is nice. Gold paper. You hear that? Mm-hmm. So let's see. Start with, looks like a t-shirt. It says, the most powerful piece in the game. The queen. I love it. So I got a t-shirt from Queen's Ransom, the most powerful piece in the game. That is the queen. There is, ooh, this is the alcohol infused popcorn. So she has these, and this is a little sample of it. So I'm gonna have to try that. Maybe not tonight. Let's see what else is in here. The Charday's Rosé. We're gonna try this tonight. This is what I'm drinking tonight. So these are little minis. So not only the full bottle of wine, of liquor, it comes in little minis, easy to put in your purse. Business card in here. It looks like a credit card. It's a business card. Queen's Ransom LLC. So got her business card in here. I have to put all of this stuff on my website. And then the forbidden fruit. And it looks like it's got pieces of fruit in here. So it's unfiltered. Yum. Let's see, I'll set this up on the bar too. So you can see that tonight. And I'm going to drink the other one. And then the Tomacion's hard tea. So that was like a Long Island iced tea. That was good. I drank the whole bottle. Not in one night though, because it's really like Long Island iced tea. And that's it. That's an awesome gift. So yay. Thank you, Queen's Ransom. Got to try this popcorn. We'll put that up here. Get us a little display going for the camera. Keep that in action. And then all of this fun gold filling in here. So that's really cool. So that's some Queen's Ransom. Let me open this Charday's Rosé, so I can start my 3 Cheers of Joy. Yeah, that's awesome, right? I hope I don't need a corkscrew. Shoot. Oh, don't want to waste no liquor. Y'all know how I am. So here we go. We're going to pour this in my, of course, Joy Exposed. You know, I got my Steffi, right? So stmspecialties.com. So I got my Steffi. And I've got some ice in it. I figured it had to be some liquor in there, or I was opening the other one. So here we go. We'll put this one up here. So we got our little minis. Remember, Queen Joy will get you a discount on the website. So go and order you some. And so let's go. 3 Cheers of Joy. First cheer of joy. Queen's Ransom. Thank you very much for sponsoring 3 Cheers of Joy on Joy Exposed. That is my first cheer of joy. Grateful for my first corporate sponsor. Cheers. Oh, that's good. Whoa, that's really good. Sweet. It's rosé, so it's sweet, fruity kind of taste. That's really good. Okay, so got distracted. Second cheer of joy. I'm gonna say this, and it sounds crazy, but a watermelon. It's not even watermelon season, but for the past few weeks, I've been getting the best slices of watermelon from the Publix down the street from my apartment, and it's so sweet. Like, it's probably some of the sweetest watermelon I've had in a long time. And I just bought it because I've been trying to eat better, to eat less carb kind of food. I'll talk about that in a minute, and I started buying it and it tastes really good. So cheers to watermelon. I don't know if it's just sweet to me or if it's just the watermelon, but whatever it is for me, and I am loving it. It's my second cheer of joy, watermelon. My third cheer of joy, I'm going to go out on a limb with this one because I don't know if I'm celebrating it because I don't have a choice because it's who I am. So I have to embrace it. Last week, I went to open a pack of paper towels because I needed to replace them in my bathroom and in my kitchen. So I needed some paper towels. And I opened the pack and I realized that the paper towels had prints on them, like not prints. Prints, prints, like floral prints with like different color flowers and leaves and stuff like that on it. And I was like stunned because I was thinking like, why the fuck would I buy these? Like, I don't even like prints. Like, I don't even like prints on like anything, sheets, pillows. I'm pretty white, stripes, gray, tan. Like, I'm pretty blah I don't do a lot of designs. And I know that. So I couldn't figure out why I would have bought those paper towels. And it made sense to me that I never really think about paper towels when I buy them. I just buy them. But anyway, I had these printed paper towels, so I didn't use them. I have them upstairs. I have them in the closet, and I went to the store and got some more. Then I realized I had paper towels delivered from Instacart. So it wasn't me, it was the delivery person on Instacart. So my cheer of joy right now is that I am pleased and I embrace the fact that I am so kind of persnickety. Like I am who I am. And that's what Joy Exposed is all about. When joy is exposed, everything just feels better. When you know yourself and you accept yourself, you're okay with it. So yeah, I was weirded out by the prints on the paper towels. I mean, and I couldn't really think of what to do with them because I wanted to throw them away, like the whole 6-pack of paper towels. But then someone on my Facebook suggested I just use them for cleaning, like cleaning up spills or, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Like I didn't even think about that. Like I was just like, I'm throwing them away and I'm good for throwing some shit away too. So I got some more paper towels. So yeah, I have embraced this is who I am. I'm very particular about the presentation of me, like what I do, how I do. I'm very particular about that. And the things that make me comfortable. So I'm embracing that. So that's my third cheer of joy. Embracing me. This is who I am. So cheers to that. Those are my 3 cheers of joy. If you don't know, 3 cheers of joy, 3 moments of self-celebration that has to do with no one else, just you. How do you celebrate you? How do you look at the things about you and celebrate them to let you know that you're where you're supposed to be, that you're moving the way you're supposed to move? It could be anything. It could be walking. I mean, 3 days this week, I met my step goal. So my step goal was 12,000 steps. One of them was I was at the very last minute before I went to bed before I made it, but I made it, right? So your cheers of joy, your things to celebrate for you could be anything. They don't have to be about anybody else. It's just on you, right? Celebrate you. Find ways to celebrate you. Find ways to remind yourself that you are worthy, you are chosen, this is your life, right? So now, 3 Cheers of Joy brought to you by Queen's Ransom. We have this amazing spread of alcohol-infused products and hard teas and rosés and forbidden fruit cocktails. So that is our sponsor for 3 Cheers of Joy. Thank you. And remember, if you order, you use Queen Joy to get 10% off, I think. Yeah, 10% off if you order on queensransomllc.com and you get 10% off. So there you go. So thank you very much, Queen's Ransom. All right, let's move on to Facebook posts of the week. So last week I didn't have any Facebook posts of the week, and I think I kind of forgot them. Like I've been in this really weird little space because I'm changing. Like, you guys know I don't. There are no qualms about me changing. I go from talking mad trash about yummy sex to fired up about relationships with family and friends and husbands and boyfriends and girlfriends. I ebb and flow in a bunch of different places, but now I'm really comfortable. Like, and I'm in a peace place in my head. Like I'm in a very peaceful place. So I'm not really fired up about anything. I'm chilling. I've been sitting up thinking all night, like, what am I going to talk about tonight? I'm just chilling. I'm like so groovy in here, So we are going to do the Facebook post of the week. And Facebook post of the week, as always, brought to you by STM Specialties. STM Specialties, it's a business. They do tumblers, they do crochet, a lot of your heirloom collection type things, like specialty items that you want to have and you want to present with someone. That's what your STM Specialties, those products are going to do it for you. So this is a tumbler set that was made by STM Specialties for Joy Exposed. All right, so let's look at our Facebook post of the week. Okay, so in the past couple of days, and I haven't been on Facebook a lot, so what I'm going to read is probably over the past week, 2 weeks, 10 days maybe. But they've been doing this post about red flags, like something, it's a red flag, which is funny because somebody says, okay, Now that you guys have listed all the red flags, can we start a thread on why you ignore them? Like when people show you their bullshit, you still keep seeing them and then you're disappointed by them. So that was a good one. So why do we keep ignoring the red flags? That's another discussion. But anyway, this one, Cameron Davis posted. She's a Facebook friend of mine. Neil Rigger at Mac makes me sick. That must be the Twitter. Men calling themselves alpha males, but debating with random women online about splitting bills and submission. That's like contradictory for sure, because men, alpha men, first of all, don't announce they're alpha men. That's out. So men are just men. The men who are the men who would fall into the category of alpha men, they're not arguing with women, because men don't argue with women. And that's the thing that we have to always remember. So this is right. This is true. Calling yourself an alpha male, but then you're arguing online with women about splitting bills and submission. You're not an alpha male. You're wasting time. You're wasting somebody's time. And that is definitely a red flag. And if that's the case, stop talking to them. I'm so happy I'm not really dating anymore, because when I was dating, I met some great people. And I never knocked that. I met great people while I was dating. But man, there's so much bullshit out there, especially when I got to start seeing beyond the bullshit. You can see it immediately in your face. You're just like, this is bullshit. And so that's one of the things right there. Like, men would talk about wanting you to submit, but they want you to submit, but they want you to pay half the bills. What do you want? What am I fucking submitting to? The telephone company? The mortgage holder? Like, what am I submitting to? Because I'm not submitting to you if I'm splitting the bills, but don't get me riled up talking about that. Anyway, so that's the whole thing about the red flags. And there are a lot of red flags out there. I'm a firm believer that as soon as somebody show you a red flag, know it's a red flag, you have to decide either I'm going to get the hell on or I'm going to wait until the next red flag. But as soon as that one thing peaks and you know that it's fucked up, it's fucked up. It ain't going to change. It wasn't no mistake. It's going to be jacked up just like that. And then you'll be 20 years later like, oh my God, this happened before we even got together. I should have paid attention then, put all that time in it. All right. The next Facebook post of the week. This was just one that popped up like an advertisement. It says, her name was Jewel State. Charlie went to put one of our outdoor plants in the garage. And I said, what are you doing? It'll die. And he said, it's fake. It's a fake plant. Wait, have you been watering this? For 3 years, it was the only plant I was successfully keeping alive. So it's a woman talking about how she's been watering this fake plant and she's really proud of it because it's still living, but it was fake. So I thought that was funny. Pretty funny. Let's see what else is in here. That's my yummy FedEx box today. That's a video. Let's see. Oh, here's one more. It says, Tasha Joseph posted this. Just saw a girl on TikTok say she's a foster girlfriend because she dates men until they find their forever homes. And I've been dying laughing for the last half hour because I've never felt so called out in my life. That's what it is with being a single woman, right? When you're a single woman and you're dating and you meet guys and you guys are having a great time, you feel like you're having a great time. And then it goes red flags, right? Red flags show up and you decide this isn't the way. Then they go on to be great with somebody else. So she calls herself a foster girlfriend because she's just holding them until somebody's ready for them, until they're ready for somebody else. That's freaking hilarious because that shit is true. What else do I have in here before I wrap this up? Oh no, I get that. You have to see that one. Okay, so in the picture of the Last Supper, somebody has a picture of the Last Supper, and Jesus in the middle, and everybody's conversing on the side. They're like, it's a problem, so they're talking. So it's the picture of the Last supper. And somebody says, why this picture look like Jesus suggested, right, Jason, a foster girlfriend. That's funny, isn't it? I thought that was hilarious. Okay, so they said the picture of Jesus at the Last Supper. It says, why this picture looked like Jesus suggested they split the bill evenly and dudes was not having it. And if you guys have ever been anywhere with a group of people and you order what you order based on your budget or however you order, and then everybody else's order, then the bill comes and they say, oh, just split it evenly. And so now all 10 of you are expected to pay the same thing. And, undoubtedly, there's always someone that says, I'm not paying that amount. I only had. So that's a conversation that has to happen before the bill comes, right? Because sometimes, like for me, and I'm honest, you guys know I put it out there. For me, if I go out to eat somewhere, I know I'm probably going to order a bottle of wine for the table. I might order two. I'm gonna order what I'm gonna order. Like I'm gonna order what I order. And what I found out is everybody who's with me can't order like I order. Everybody isn't on their budget may be different from my budget. My budget may be different from their budget. What if I go out and I order a salad and I have an iced tea and everybody else is having steak and shots, and then my stuff is $25, but I'm expected to pay $125 because everybody around me did. So that's a really good discussion to have. And people get heated with it because there is a thought process of people who believe we go all out together, we split the bill and evenly everybody pay. And then there's the other thought where people are like, I'm only paying for what I order. And I think to get around that is this is a conversation to be had up front. Like seriously, it's a conversation to be had up front, because I know I don't want somebody coming to split my bill. If I order wine for the table and appetizers for the table, my expectation is I'm paying for those things, right? Because I took the initiative to order that. But that is a heated discussion that people have, and I understand it both ways. So I'm not a believer one way or the other. All I'm saying is make sure that's a conversation that you have before you get to time to pay, because a lot of people are on a strict budget. Some people are on a budget. Some people are not on a budget. Some people put this shit on the credit card and pay interest on it for 12 months. People do all kinds of stuff. You don't know, first of all, somebody else's finances. You don't know that. And so why would you know that? But when somebody is making a comment, I'm only paying for, and in the situation that's happened with me, or I'll be like, you know what, what'd you get? So I got yours. You can just cash out me. You send me a cash app for what yours was, and I got it. And just remove that, because that takes the pressure off of this conversation, because I don't like for people to feel uncomfortable having the conversation. It's already hard enough to talk about money as it is. And then if you're going out and you only plan to spend $50, $25, and then people are asking you to spend $125, that's a game changer. I mean, literally, it's a game changer. I know that I've been where I can't do that. That is a game changer for me, right? So I know that I can't do that. So I just thought that was a good picture, because that's exactly what the table looks like when somebody says, split the bill evenly. Everybody like, oh no, not me. I didn't know. There's got to be a conversation. So anyway, I like that post. I thought that was really cool. A good post. Somebody had a good eye for that. Let me see. I think that might be the last one that I had. Here's one about yeah, I'm not gonna read that one. That was toxic as hell. But I thought that was funny. I saved it. I have my toxic moments, so you know what I do. But yeah, so those are my Facebook posts of the week. Thank you all for contributing and giving me putting your stuff out there on social media. Always a lot of fun reading everybody's posts and comments. Now let me talk about this real quick. There's a young a young woman that was killed about a week ago. And I think that's why I didn't go live last week. I didn't do Joy Exposed last week because I was really in a sad space. I never met the woman, 21 years old, never met her. But the fact that a 21-year-old woman was killed, right? And so it's always tricky talking about it because people are so, I don't know, people are so uptight about just being a human, just a human aspect of existing, that they get caught in these labels and stuff. So after the fact, I found out that the woman was trans. So it was a man in process, trans, right? Man in process of becoming a woman, but identified as woman, family identified as woman. And they found her shot and killed in a car, in her car, in an apartment complex in Texas. And I was hurt. Like I hurt behind that. Not because it was a person trans. I hurt because I'm a mother. Like I'm a mother of a 27, 25, and 18-year-old. I hurt because I'm a human. I hurt because I'm a woman finding my way. I hurt because a child lost their life finding their way. Like I hurt for so many reasons, but the conversation that was surrounding it so much is that the person was trans. And I'm like, I just really don't give a fuck. It's a whole person, 21 years old, murdered. Like, what the hell is that? And I think for me, that was just kind of like a nail in my coffin of aching and pain throughout this whole pandemic because so many people have died and not from murder, death. And I was focused on people dying because of COVID, people dying complications due to whatever because of COVID. And I'm caught in the people dying from those causes that I had really just removed the idea of somebody dying at the hand of another person of murder. And I was hurt. Like I just was like, I don't know this person. Like I don't, it's not a emotional connection that I have to the person. It's an emotional connection to the idea that it's a child, a human child that's been murdered. And I had a hard time with that. I think I'm still having a hard time with it. Like I've been seeing the posts, on Facebook, and they had the memorial service, and the mom has made comments about when you come to the funeral, keep your negativity. So that just says it's people still talk with the blah 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 bullshit, even though this child is dead. Like, yeah, so I just that has me like that's got me really in a space. And I don't know the family well, and I offer my condolences, and and I just kind of watched along the way and said my prayers and prayed for their soul, and just all of that. But it's still, my mind is struggling with wrapping around the fact that this child was shot to death in their car. So I got into a space trying to figure out, I wonder if they were with someone and someone figured out that they were a man. I wonder, I was found myself looking for reasons this would happen. And I was like, what is no valid reason for this to happen? So I just had to kind of back up off that thing. Like, damn, this is fucked up. This is a child, 21 years old. 21 years old, finding her way. And I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, finding my way has been a daunting fucking experience. I am a woman. I was born a woman. And finding my way into becoming a woman has been a fucking daunting experience. So I can't imagine being born a man and identifying and trying to find my way as a woman. I can't imagine that fucking struggle. I can't imagine that mental flip that has to happen for you to walk in it, because I had to have a fucking flip for me to walk into being a fucking free woman. I had to have it. And I was a woman. I was born a woman. And it still required some finesse and understanding and confidence and faith and hope to flip that switch and step into womanhood. And here this child is 21. 21. And finding their way and their life's cut this short. That I'm hurt by that. Like, I'm hurt on so many levels, and this none of it is gender specific. It's just like, damn it. This journey is rough as a mother trucker. This journey is holy crap. When you're traveling along your journey and you understand, fuck everybody else, what they look like, what they're dealing with. When you understand that you got to deal with you and that your position has to be your purpose, when you realize that, you understand it's harder to deal with me than to deal with all this other bullshit. That's the flip of the switch. That's it. And that is a hard place to be, because when you realize you're stepping into your own, you understand that you have to let so much of the noise go, but still be eloquent enough to get the things you want from people and situations around you. Because your needs are your needs. You need food, you need safety, you need security, you need a home, shelter, you need sex. You still need, you understand that the needs are basic. You understand the basic aspect of it, but you still have to walk into the basic space to get it and hope to come out on the other side to get the hell away from it. And this child is 21, was 21, and lost her life for whatever reason. I stopped thinking about why. Why did this happen? I'm not the mother. I am a mother. And I can't think of anything to give permission for this shit to happen to a 21-year-old that's finding their way. I don't care what the reason was. This was a 21-year-old. Hell, I'm 52. I know 50-year-olds. I know 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds that can't even find their way, that aren't even bold enough to flip the switch to step into who they are. I know people who can't. This child was finding their way. And this is a place that I have undoubtedly learned at some point that grace is a requirement for this age range. I know that. This is also how I know that me dealing with people in this age range is from a leadership, teacher, mentor, guidance perspective. This isn't a friendship space for me. This isn't where I go for friends because they're finding their way. This is where I go to offer grace and understanding that your steps are okay. You're okay. All right, just keep going. Keep going. Keep going. That's what my role is. I understand that. So to have these conversations about these young people and how they are this and how they're this and they should do, man, fuck that. Forget that. Grace. Give them grace and guidance to get over and get through to get to where they can be aware, self-aware of purpose. Get them to that. I'm not scolding you at 21 on how you're trying to flip your damn switch. I'm not scolding you on that. What I'm going to tell you is make sure that you're safe. If you need anything, you let me know. These are conversations I have. I have these conversations on my Facebook. I have young people who I've taught, who I talk to on Facebook, who I'm friends with because of somebody else, and I comment on posts, and they will come to me and ask me questions of guidance. We're not trying to be friends. And somebody may come to me and say, hey, I got this happening and this happening. Can I borrow? Can Yes. You know why I say yes? Not because they deserve it or earned it or when they're gonna pay me back or what they coming to me. None of that shit don't matter. Because it takes a lot to ask somebody for something when you're finding your way. This brings tears to my eyes because I've been in the situation to fucking have to ask somebody for something when I was finding my way. Because people around me didn't understand that I'm finding my way. So I know that as an adult. I understand that as an adult. So when I'm dealing with the young people now, and they whatever they need to talk at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, they got questions about their baby daddy, or they don't want to go back to jail, or they hit a school teacher and the school teacher died and they got to go to jail. I talk to people about all kinds of shit. And who am I to tell them what they should be doing when I have no idea about the shit they've been through to get to where they are doing the things they're doing? That's not for me. That's not my place. My place is, are you safe? That's it. Are you safe? What do you need from me? Do you need this? That's it. That's what I ask. That's how I deal with stuff. And the funny thing is, at 52, there are still people who want to tell me how the fuck I should be doing me. How you going to, I know that God has not talked to you about me. I know God hasn't talked to you about me. He wouldn't. He talks to me about me and you about you. You don't have any insight on my life. Tandy said, I'm dealing with this at 41. It's hard for these young kids out here. Continue guiding and nurturing. This is definitely your calling. Absolutely. It's the youngest, the babies. It is the damn babies. And we got to take care of them. Like, we got to take care of them. And we've got to teach them that your safety and security is the primary thing that you worry about. And if shit is fucked up, get out of it. It's okay to walk away from it. Who's going to be mad at you? Who's going to hurt you? Nothing's going to happen. All you're going to do is get up and go to work tomorrow. That's it. So I just feel like this child was 21 and got killed. 21 years old. Ah, that has me so jacked up because I can only think of the bravery that goes along with the gender switch, the ideology of that switch. I can only imagine that. Literally. And this baby's out here and gotten killed. I'm hurt by that. I'm telling you, I've been in such a crazy ass place. I've been in such a crazy place. Crazy place because of it. And I've been reflective of me and reflective of situations that I've been in seeking, in understanding, in trying. And, part of what I ask in my seeking is that I don't carry any of the negative with me. That was a flip of the switch for me. So it didn't matter. It does, like right now. It doesn't matter what the situation is. My response is a positive situation, and I mean that shit. My response is positive, and I mean that. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to sit and whine and bitch and moan because something didn't go my way. I'm not doing any of that. When some shit happens, I immediately look for the good in it. And then I thank God for it, or I thank the universe for it. And the reason I'm so quick to be thankful for it is because down the road, when shit goes left, I need to remember the day that I was grateful for what happened to me happened. I need to remember, oh, I remember I was happy that that happened. I got to remember that because that's how my roots of goodness are planted. That's how the negative doesn't get to me. That's how I'm able to move in my light and seek my purpose because I'm not going to be weighed down by the crap anymore. Speaking of, which is funny, I was cleaning up today in my office and I had like three backpacks out. And I started laughing. I got so tickled because you guys know I travel a lot, before I moved back to Atlanta. I was traveling a lot, between here and Tampa and other places. And I always had bags. Like I always had bags on deck. Like bags, I'm ready to go. I had bags. Like I was the fucking bag lady. Bag lady. That was me. I always had bags ready. So today, as I'm cleaning up, I realized it's safe to put your bags up. You're home. You can put your bags up. And I was like, wow. So I started going through the bags to see what was in the bags because you never really unpack them all the way. So I'm started going through there, going through the bags and seeing what was in there because I could put them up. Like I'm releasing the baggage. Like I don't have to be ready to move anymore. Like I don't have to be ready to travel anymore. I'm home. When I was coming to Atlanta and I was seeing Faceless Love and we were staying all over the city, all depends on what activities or events we had. We were staying all over. Well, we're home now. We don't have to pack the bags anymore. So now if we're packing a bag together. We're back and we're leaving. We're taking a trip. But it took a long time for me to get to where I could flip that switch. I have literally had clothes in a suitcase for 10 years. There's been a suitcase. I traveled for work and I lived in and out of hotels. So there's always clothes in a suitcase. I lived with my daughter for 5 years in Lakeland. I had clothes in a suitcase. I always had something. I was the bag lady. I always had shit in a bag. No one could tell me what to do with my stuff because I was in charge of taking care of my stuff. It doesn't matter what they see or how they see it. And that's how we have to look at these young people. It's their stuff. We don't know if they had trauma growing up. We don't know if they had trauma as young adults. We don't know what school is like. We don't have any of that information. We get a young person with a problem in our face and we have to deal with it. When I was in undergraduate school, when I was in college, and I don't talk about this story much, and I'm going to talk about it now because we're talking about having to ask for something. And I was there, and I can't remember necessarily that I had fucked up because I don't think I had like tons of money or whatever. I knew that I had gotten into depression. I knew that I was in a depressive state, and it was bad. I ended up flunking out of college. Like I stopped going to class. I was depressed. I didn't do well. Like my first year, I was great. My second year, and then towards the end of my second year, I just stopped. Like something happened that I stopped. And I ended up, I don't even know if I flunked out or if I just made F's and I didn't go back. I don't even know if I could have gone back. Like it was like that kind of thing. And I stopped, but I wasn't working. And I was staying in my apartment and I'm thinking my mom must have been paying my rent. I don't remember paying rent. Like I didn't have a job at this time. I didn't have a job. So my mom must have been paying my rent. I don't even remember. Like literally, I don't remember. And I remember not having any food. I didn't have any food and I didn't have any tampons and I didn't have any money. and I wasn't going home. And my mom had told me to come home. My mom was like, "You come. I'm sending you a bus ticket. Come home." I was like, "I'm not coming home." I knew I wasn't going home. I didn't want to go home. I knew when I was 18 and I left, I was never going home again. I knew that. Like I just knew it. And my mom telling me to come home was her telling. That was me knowing that I had failed. Like I had failed. Right. I fucked up. I failed. I couldn't. But I didn't have anything. I have no money. Um, no car, nothing. And so I was sitting up trying to figure out where I was going to get some food from. And I always write letters. I always keep note cards. That's just like my thing. I keep note cards. And I had a note card and I wrote a note asking for a loaf of bread, bologna, and tampons. And there was a little corner store around the corner from my apartment. I lived in Tallahassee, right behind the stadium. There was a corner store back there. And I walked back there and I handed the note to the guy working in the store. Now you got to think this was the 80s. So this ain't like today. I handed the note to the guy. So he read the note and then he walked to the back of the store. Well, he didn't say anything to me. I just started walking to the front because I was going to leave because that was to me, he said no. You know, he didn't say anything, but he walked away from me. As I was walking through the door, he was like, here. And I turned around and he gave me a bag, an empty bag. He said, get what you need. And I got exactly what I asked for: bread, bologna, tampons. And I showed him what I had. And I told him, I was like, I'll pay you. I'm going to come back and pay you. And I gave myself that time to finish the bread, the bologna, my period. So I would have had 2 periods with a box of tampons. I gave myself till the end of those items that I would never ask another person for anything. And I might have been 19 years old. Might have been 19. And I knew to me, that was my hard time asking. That was me trying to flip the switch into adulthood. That was me trying to get there. So I know what that is. I know when you're looking for those basic needs, food, shelter. I know that that's some hard shit to get through, which explains why a lot of people don't make it through that shit. That's why a lot of people get stuck there because it's hard to get through that shit. It's hard if you don't have someone who understands that flipping that switch is significant. And it's not, I'm going to tell you how to do it. I'm here through this process for if it's for the moment or the whole time or whatever, what you're supposed to do in it. That's it. That was a hard time for me, but and listen, here I am later, all these years later. What's this, 33 years later? I don't ask for shit. I worked my ass off. I have worked my ass off. I got a job after I got a job working at a laundromat. After that, doing be washing people's clothes? Hell no. But I made money, and guess what else? Right now, I fold clothes beautifully. My towels are amazing. My shirts, my pants, my shorts. I learned skills on that job that I didn't want. Like I don't even know how much it was paying me at the time, but it was on the bus line, the free bus line from campus to the laundromat, and that's where I was working. And I paid back for my items from that little store. So I know that when people come to me and ask me for some shit, I'm the man in the store. I'm the man. He didn't have to help me. He didn't, but he did. And I know I'm that person because somebody has been that person for me. Everybody doesn't want money. Some people just need to know that somebody's there. Some people want advice. Some people just want to vent, cry, whatever. It's not for me to decide what they're going to do when they come to me. That's for them to come to me. And if I have what they have to give to them. That's why I'm fucked up over that 21-year-old getting killed because they just wanted something, whatever it was. It was probably a basic need, whatever it was. Even if it was sex driven, it was still a basic need. That is a basic physiological need. That's it. Even if it was that, but it's still a 21-year-old that's murdered, that's dead while they're trying to figure out how to flip the switch and move into that next place, that next phase of their life. And I'm fucked up about that. So it's been, I'm telling you, for the end of the pandemic or being in it, that was the thing for me that when I thought, damn, Joy, you're numb. I'm numb. I can't take anything else. When that happened, I was like, well, shit. What am I supposed to do? Take it. Just take it. That's all I can do. So the child's name was Kier. Mom and is in my Facebook group, one of my Facebook groups. And it's a fucked up space. And we have to make sure that the young people, it's a lot going on. And yeah, they're crazy as hell. It's okay. We were crazy. We were crazy. Nobody came through this thing unscathed. We were all jacked up. So as great as you think you were, you weren't. You was fucked up too. It might not have been that because it was yours and it was different, but it was still fucked up. You had your time too, right? So we have to be aware of that, and we have to make sure that we're a beacon, we're a light for them, for the kids, and we make sure we give them an opportunity to grow and to be safe with growing. Like that's the thing right there. You got to be safe. All right, so got 10 minutes left. Let's see. Oh, last thing, we're gonna change the channel a little bit, change the energy. On Monday, I went to a wedding with Faceless Love. That was fun. It was first of all, it was a beautiful wedding, an Italian wedding. Beautiful and efficient. The wedding started at 3:30, about 3:32. It was over at like 3:58. Like it was lickety split over. The wedding was. And then the reception was started at 5:30. And the reception started at 5:30, and it was a little ways away in this beautiful estate. And so we drove up there, and it was nice. But you know what? They didn't have any dancing. It's an Italian wedding. So Italian wedding, there's usually lots of dancing and wine. No dancing, no wine. I was like, we should have put a bottle in the car. But it was nice. The food was delicious. I mean, hand rolled pasta, handmade desserts. The bride is a chef. The food was amazing. I mean, hands down, it was delicious. So can't knock that. We had a great table. So it was the friends of Faceless Love and friends from his community and in coaching. And so we had some great people sitting at the table with us. We had a aerobics queen that was in one of the first aerobic videos. She made videos, and she's also a writer. Then we had another lady with us. She's an RN. Her husband is an actor. He's done like tons of Hollywood movies, like Vampire Diaries, CSI. He was telling us all of that, and then this other stuff. So I was really sitting at the table with some cool people. So that in itself was just amazing opportunity to talk and just to meet some new people, and just to meet some of Faceless Love's friends, because coming, and I would come to town. I mean, we would see a few people every now and then, but this was kind of like people he spent time with, and I got to meet them. And when I was meeting them, one of the ladies said, I can't believe for as long as I've known him, I've never met you. And I was like, I'm new. And she was like, oh, well, if it makes you feel any better, I never met the old one. So it was hilarious because, I mean, life is a transition, so, I had to, I was like, it wasn't me. It was, it's got to be his ex-wife that you're making reference to, but it wasn't me. She was like, oh, I never met her either. So, it's kind of cool. I think we ended up getting home about 11 o'clock. So we left at 2:30. We got back at 11. So it was a long day, long. No, the wedding, even though it was nice, the reception was probably an hour, 20 minutes away. So, but it was beautiful estate, like rolling green hills and a lake with a fountain, and oh my god, like it was just storybook perfect. It was just amazing. So that was really fun. We had a good time. Um, yeah, so it was kind of cool. And then speaking of the ex-wife, what's so funny? So we have HBO, or the HBO or Netflix. It's either one, HBO or Netflix. Anyway, he has HBO and Netflix, and so all of us have a profile. So me, him, and the kids. Well, the other day I went to go to the profiles to look, and it's the ex-wife has added a profile on there too. So we're all on there together. I was like, babe, come look at this. And he came in and he looked at the TV like, what? So he figured one of the kids must have added a profile for her on there. And I was just like, this is hilarious, whatever. But because we've had them, gosh, 2-3 years, we've had the profiles on there. So I think that with the kids moving back and forth between him and her, that, there's probably a conversation about, what are you watching? Oh, I'm watching. Oh, you have that? Oh, yeah, I can put it on your TV too. That kind of conversation. But yeah, so it's funny. So I was like, look at us. We're like a whole big blended family. So anyway, that's hilarious. And it's so funny when you get older. I can imagine being young and you're like fired up and mad about that. Then you're like 50 something. You're like, who cares? Shit is exhausting. I don't know. And I don't care. But I thought it was funny. Now that I'm being here. Um and watching how things go and just the transition with the kids and settling into a new lifestyle, new life, a new way of doing things. And it's just really interesting. And you know what? Everybody needs grace. This is all new for everybody. I mean, it's everything is new for everybody, and there's no reason, no space to get worked up about it. Um, the one thing I told Faceless Love, and I told his mom, I said the main thing for both of us is that we're trying to be happy. Like we don't have any room for any arguing, no friction, no second guessing. Like happy is the goal, and my job is to make sure that I'm happy. His job is to make sure that he's happy. And if I can be happy, I can provide happy for him. And if he is happy, he can provide happy for me. But we neither one of us will sacrifice ourselves to make the other person happy. Where we're not getting or we're missing out on, that's not going to happen. And that's just a thought process that we both hold on to. Like, I'm going to do the things that make me happy. I'm going to move the way that I feel good moving. And with all of that, I'm going to have enough happy for him to share with him and to give to him. And he'll do the same thing. But that's it. We're too old and we're not flipping the switch anymore. This is what we've chosen. This is where we want to be. That struggle of the 21-year-old, 30-year-old, that's not our struggle. We're just for guidance. We're not struggling in that space. And if he were struggling in that space, he wouldn't be the man that I'm with. He wouldn't. He would have been. I would have been a leader to him or a mentor or in a position of guidance to him if he were in that space. You recognize it right off. I'm not raising, I've said this so many times, I'm not raising the man that's supposed to lead me. I'm not raising the man that I naturally and instinctively want to submit to. I'm not raising him. Like, that's impossible. I'm raising my son. I'm raising my son. That's it. Like, that's the man that I'm raising, and he's my son. But the man that I'll submit to, the man that I submit to, the man that I want to give myself to, I'm not raising him. It's impossible because then I won't be able to naturally give myself to him. It will be something that I have to force. And I'm not doing that. So those are yucky ass relationships to be in. So we're not talking about those tonight. Anyway, it's Wednesday, October 13th. It's 10 o'clock. It's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed. Thank you, Queen's Ransom, for sponsoring 3 Cheers of Joy. Thank you, STM Specialties, for sponsoring Facebook Post of the Week. And please subscribe, share the video. YouTube is out there. Listen to it on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you find your amazing podcast. And remember, when joy is exposed, everything just feels better. I'll see you guys next week. Mwah. Bye.